Hello, friends. We are a MOOC Swayam course on nationalism and constitutional growth in India, 1858 to 1920. Friends, in the last lecture, we talked about two movements, one in UP and one in Kerala, the UP Kisan Sabha and Ekka movement in UP, Mapila Rebellion or Mapila Revolt in Malabar district of Kerala. We saw that how UP Kisan Sabha movement, which started with the Awadh Agrarian Society from 1856 to till 1920. We saw the formation of UP Kisan Sabha in 1918 and how they were invited to be part of the Congress session in 1918 and 1919. How they this entire movement, in fact, culminated into resorting to violence and looting, property, government property, and also clashing with police. That led to various kind of seditious act, but also gradual kind of success in terms of Awadh, tenants, or Rent Amendment Act. And later on, of course, again, because of the separation, gradual, stopping of the movement, and then later on taken up by Eka movement, which engaged some of the religious practices and also also kind of social reforms within the movement by highlighting some unjust practices. We saw that in Malabar, that how Muslims initially started kind of raising their concern by highlighting that how landlords are again charging very high rents, and and that is, of course, in collaboration with the British government. And these Muslims in the Malabar district who led this Mapila rebellion, they gradually also started kind of attacking Hindus, and because Hindus, they belong to the landlords, and this sort of violence ultimately had a communal overtone, and in a way, Mapila rebellion was isolated from the mainstream politics, ultimately leading to seizing of the activity. But of course, those movements had a kind of certain momentum into the leadership by highlighting, even national leadership highlighting the suffering and misery of the peasant questions, either in Mapila or in UP or in Gujarat and elsewhere. These questions were very prominent questions. So let us, in today's discussion, we talk about the further the linkages between nationalism and peasant movements. And today, in this lecture, we'll try to understand one of the movement in Gujarat, which is called Bardoli Satyagraha, based on non-violence. This movement, in a way, had a larger impact on the national politics. So, as you all are aware, that because of the violence and because of the divergences, from the national movement, peasants in both regions, UP and Gujarat, they have been turning to violence, creating a gap with the non-violent approach of the national movement. National leaders, especially Gandhi, urged peasants to refrain from any kind of violence and extreme actions, including withholding rent payments. So divergence often was seen as a middle class fear of losing control to more radical, leaders. Ultimately, the advice for restraint by Gandhi was seen as concern for landlords and property uh, classes. That actually led to this suspicion from the peasants that this advice has to do something with safeguarding or protecting the property class. Uh, so national leaders may have aimed to protect peasants from severe consequences of violent revolt. Then there is this caution against extreme measures which stemmed from the desire to maintain the small landlords neutrality in the conflict with the government. Uh, you know, Peasants, they had a kind of limited demands. They sought an end to uh, ejectments. Because anytime they were stopped to harvest or eviction from the land, or illegal levies and tax, exorbitant rents. They did not want abolition of rent or landlordism, but the rents were too high for them to even pay, and then there was less security in terms of the tenants or tenure security. So national leadership, rather aligned with these demands by encouraging a balanced approach to prevent, alienating small landlords and, maintaining their neutrality. Because you have to understand that even Indian National Congress leadership, a large chunk of the leadership was also coming from the landlords. So the very support base. Now, if Indian National Congress is going to equivocally saying that any kind of sort of engagements with the landlords will be stopped because they are engaged into uh, making peasants suffer. The very support base, the financial kind of support base would also kind of vanish, and it the very leadership, Indian National Congress leadership may also cripple or crush, or simply collapse. So so I mean, this is one of the reason of balancing act or maintaining their neutrality. Uh, and this national leaders advise aimed at balancing interests by addressing peasants' grievances while avoiding actions that could drive small landlords closer to the government. And if those small landlords, particularly if they are going to the government, then that will be end of the story of the entire movement. So peasants' demands, also aligned with national leadership by emphasizing the need for a strategic and measured approach in the ongoing conflict. So that's the point of rather theorization of the movement to understand that why Indian National Congress leadership, was not, hard or bent on the landlords. Rather, they wanted to balance the interest of the peasants and the landlords, and that led to various kind of suspicion amongst the peasants whether there is any kind of serious and honest effort by the nationalist movement. But they wanted. They wanted those landlords who were small landlords and also benevolent landlords. Peasants did not have problem. Rather, they did not have problem with the rent, but they had a problem with exorbitant rent. So that's something, a very very pressing question. So let us see the background of Bardoli movement, which started in 1928. I wanted to bring into the discussion of Bardoli, so that when we are talking about peasant movements, is a representative peasant movement, that there are a lot of peasant movements, in Bengal, in Jharkhand, Chota Nagpur, and elsewhere. It's just a representative peasant movements we are trying to understand. So Bardoli was selected for Gandhiji's civil disobedience campaign in 1922. But 1922 was also a time where near Gorakhpur there's a place called Chauri Chaura, it's called Chauri Chaura conspiracy or Chauri Chaura Kand or Chauri Chaura, event, which ultimately prevented the launch where Gandhi wanted it in 1922 itself. Uh, so because of the Chauri Chaura, Gandhi in fact called off entire non-cooperation movement, and Gandhi was shattered because for Gandhi, the entire movement was based on the philosophy of non-violence and Satyagraha, and and Gandhi did not want that that authenticity, or Gandhi did not want any kind of attachment of violence with his movement. So hence, the reason being that though Chauri Chaura may give a lot of impetus in terms of that a radical manifestation of violence, which gave kind of fear amongst the British government, that if Chauri Chaura kind of incident may happen in other part of India, then they are not going to stay any longer, or maybe within 5 years or 10 years. Uh, of course, they will resort to violence, but that violence will not act against a large population, because the overall, overall, the size of the British police forces, those who were a British citizen, they were not even about, say, 1.5 lakh. So much of the police machinery also came from Indian population, and this 1.5 lakh police personnel cannot control nearly 30 crores of India's population. So if Chauri Chaura incident had so much potential, yet Gandhi did not want any kind of attachment of Chauri Chaura with his mission of non-cooperation or satyagraha or ahimsa. So Gandhi kind of delayed this civil disobedience in Bardoli, and those local leaders like Kalyanji and Kuwaji, uh, Dayalji Desai, these people, worked on spreading the message of non-cooperation movements in Bardoli, leading to intense politicization. And there was a kind of constructive work and also Kalip Raj outreach. Now, Kalip Raj are basically the people who are called untouchables, and and Gandhi wanted to address kind of that untouchability question from the very beginning of Gandhi's movement. Gandhi wanted the untouchability should go. So in the post non-cooperation Bardoli congressmen, they focus on constructive work because Gandhi has already initiated constructive program. What Gandhi called it Purna Swaraj. So leaders, they address Gandhi's rebuke. They worked among Kalip Raj, community by setting up ashrams and also creating Kalip Raj literature to uplift that marginalized community. So for 6 years, when Gandhi delayed it, the congressmen, they engaged into constructive work amongst the marginalized communities. Now, by 1926, 1928, there's a land revenue protest. In January 1926 only, there is an increase of 30% of the sort of land revenue reassessment which was proposed in Bardoli, which led to Bardoli Inquiry Committee, formation of Bardoli Inquiry Committee, and also press campaign against it. Government reduced that enhancement to 21.97% from 30% in July 1927. But this did not resolve the problem, the question, and in fact, discontentment, dissatisfaction, in fact, persisted amongst the peasants. Then we see the arrival of the leader called Vallabhbhai Patel, and in fact, there was, a kind of leadership, very strong leadership provided, where constitutional leaders, they advised resistance withholding the enhanced amount, and also ashram group led by Vallabhbhai Patel, he gained a lot of influence, and Patel formally invited to lead the campaign supported by Gandhiji. So Bardoli Satyagraha begins, with the commencement in February 1928, where Vallabhbhai Patel divides Bardoli into 13 worker camps, 100 political workers, 1,500 volunteers, and a publication bureau is formed. Bardoli Satyagraha Patrika disseminated movement updates and news. And then there is this mobilization strategies and tactics, where we see, that is leading to speeches, pamphlets, and door-to-door persuasion, going to the peasants and kind of inviting them to be part of the Bardoli Satyagraha, and various kind of propagandas are used to mobilize women and students. Also, the caste and village panchayats were also effectively used for social pressure and boycotts, threats to the landlords and also British government. So government, again comes into the action, where Sardar Patel's efforts to maintain support from constitutionalist and moderate, leaders can be seen uh, by that time, and also by July 1920. 28, what we see is that government supporters they are simply vanishing, they deserting. Viceroy now doubts that Bombay government's stance, that Bombay government whether wants to kind of crush the movement or not. And then we see the Bombay Youth League also getting mobilized. Gandhiji, shifts to Bardoli, and then there's a railway strike threats which also loom. Uh, then legislative council members, they are writing letters, by providing face-saving device, and then ultimately inquiry got conducted into this. Uh, and then what are the success of Bardoli Satyagraha? If we see, there's a judicial inquiry by Broomfield and Maxwell, who concludes that the increase was unjustified. 30% increase of the revenue reassessment is unjustified, and even reduction of 21% is also unjustified. So the enhancement was reduced to 6.03%, and in that sense, there's a huge kind of success of the Bardoli, because the reduction of 24% is something which gave a lot of relief to the peasants. And the Bardoli peasant, they emerged victorious, with London's New Statesman noting it as a severe rebuff to the local government, Gujarat, government. And this had greater impact on freedom struggle. Gandhiji himself, in fact, had a high regard for Bardoli struggle. I quote here Gandhiji, who writes in one of the magazine, that whatever the Bardoli struggle may be, it clearly is not a struggle for the direct attainment of Swaraj, that every such awakening, every such effort is that of Bardoli will bring Swaraj nearer, and may bring it never even than any direct efforts is undoubtedly true. So, Gandhiji had a lot of, faith that non-violent movements can have only greater success in terms of attainment of Swaraj. So maybe if there are hundreds of Bardoli all over India with the spirit of non-violence, then no one can stop India achieving Swaraj. Now again, the Swaraj near Gandhi would not mean only political independence, but Swaraj would also mean that how people are reforming their lives based on uh, share and care, and a very community-oriented life than any kind of individual-centric and greedy kind of life. So Gandhi, in a way, inculcates these ideas through the idea of Swaraj. So I'll stop here on peasant movements and nationalism. You know, we'll see in the coming lectures on the workers, movement as well, that how workers movements and also uh, that what is called nationalism. So workers movements and nationalism, how again that coincides. So nationalist movement, for an example, how that coincides and how nationalist movement takes up the cause of the workers as well, like railway workers and factory workers, textile workers. All those workers were in a way also wanting to be part of the freedom struggle, and they wanted their questions to be raised on the platform of the nationalist movement, so that they will be able to contribute and kind of gaining their grievances addressed. So I'll stop here. Thank you so much for having your patience and listen to my kind of take on peasant movements and nationalist movements. I hope you have a happy learning together with me. Thank you very much.